I've been thinking about confidence lately. Not the kind you perform, not the kind that walks into a room and announces itself. The other kind. The kind that's easy to miss if you're not paying attention. I think that's actually the kind that matters more. And I don't think we talk about it enough. There's a version of confidence that gets sold to us constantly. Bold, loud, unapologetic. Up space in a way that everyone around you can feel. And I'm not saying that's wrong. For some people, that's genuinely who they are. But I think a lot of us, especially women, have spent years feeling like we weren't confident enough because we didn't match that image. We weren't the loudest in the room. We didn't have the perfectly rehearsed answer. We second-guessed ourselves quietly and smiled and got on with it. And somewhere along the way, we decided that meant something was missing in us. But I've come to believe that quiet confidence is its own thing entirely. And it's actually much harder to build. Because loud confidence has an audience. It feeds off reaction, off applause, off other people seeing it. Quiet confidence doesn't have that. It has to survive without it. It's the kind that shows up when no one's watching. When you make a decision and you don't announce it. When you choose to do something differently and you don't need to explain why. It doesn't need to convince anyone. And that, I think, is what makes it powerful. Something I've noticed is that the most grounded people I know, the ones who seem genuinely at ease with themselves, they don't talk about their choices that much. They just make them. They changed careers and didn't write a long caption about it. They cut off something that wasn't working and moved on. They started over and didn't frame it as a rebrand. They just did it and kept going. And I think there's something really freeing about that. Because when we feel like we need to explain ourselves, every decision, every direction, every time we change our minds, we're actually still seeking permission. We're still waiting for people to say, yes, that makes sense. I understand. I approve. And that waiting keeps you stuck in a way that's hard to see when you're in it. Choosing yourself quietly means you've already approved. You don't need the announcement because you're not asking for feedback. It's not cold. It's not distant. It's just settled. And that kind of settled feeling, I think it's what a lot of us are actually chasing underneath everything else. I want to be honest about something. I don't think confidence means you stop doubting yourself. I used to think that's what it meant. That one day you'd just wake up and the second guessing would be gone. You'd know what you're doing, you'd trust your own judgment, and that quiet anxiety of, am I good enough? Am I doing this right? It would just disappear. It doesn't disappear, at least not in my experience, and not in the experience of most people I've talked to who are honest about it. The doubt doesn't go away. You just get better at not on a day when you're tired and everything feels harder than it should. Doubt will be there. That's just part of being someone who cares about what they do. But you don't have to obey it. You can feel it, acknowledge it, and still pick up the brush, still make the call, still show up. And every single time you do that, every time you feel the doubt and act anyway, you're building something. Not just skill, not just a business. You're building evidence. Evidence that you can be trusted by yourself, for yourself. That's what quiet confidence actually is, I think. Not the absence of fear, just the decision to keep moving in spite of it. Confidence doesn't have to look like anything in particular. It can look like working quietly, deciding without drama, trusting yourself without waiting for proof. It can look like this, just hands moving, doing the work, one more time. That's enough. You're enough. See you in the next one.